Hey everybody, this is FitSpaz Recovery. I'm Paul the producer and I want to help you get fit, get healthy, and stay sober. I have a lot to talk about tonight. And I'm being surprisingly upbeat considering the last couple days that I had. Not a couple days really down in the dumps for me. You know that I want to begin. I'll just try and summarize how I'm feeling and what I try and take from it as a learning experience to be stronger in difficult situations in the future. And the last few days, the last several days, I haven't slept very regularly or slept very well. I've been going to bed a little late, waking up too early, and when I get 5 or 6 hours of sleep, I really would describe myself as being emotionally off, and I have a harder time dealing and coping with other silly things. And so yesterday, God Almighty, I was already not in a good mood, and I'm not going to tell you every aspect of my story, but I'm going to try and stick to stuff that's relevant, stuff that might be helpful for you guys in your experience and journey trying to stay sober and keep going in fitness and whatnot. And yeah, there's a lot actually. So yesterday I was not in a very good mood. I woke up early and then it was like I was able to fall back asleep after a 2 hour interval where I was just like messing around on my phone. And part of that was like listening to negative political radio and therein lies part of the problem. I've been thinking that listening to political discourse, whether it's Fox News, whether it's MSNBC, or whether it's like my personal favorite, Alex Jones, I feel like there's a lot of inherent negativity and darkness that has a tendency to impact me a lot as a person. And so yesterday I was watching a lot of TV because I wanted to see the outcome of all the caucus voting with all the relevant presidential candidates, and and so I'm going back and forth all day between MSNBC and Fox News, and plus I listened to the entire episode of Alex Jones yesterday, and there's a lot of dark negativity there. And like what I don't like is the human pettiness. It makes me feel disheartened. And when I'm trying to lead a positive life and become a better person, I'm not sure that we're headed in the right way as a country. I just don't like the discourse and the feelings and the stupidity and the desperation being expressed, especially by underdogs trying to get somewhere, hopefully win to be the most powerful person in the world. You have to be pretty scummy in my book. And so I'm not making a statement about any one individual specifically. I'm just saying it really just sucked my soul and life out of me yesterday. And then I went on to have a frustrating evening yesterday for reasons I'm not going to get into. And then today I woke up short on sleep again. And so I got up, was not in a very good mood. I wasted a little too much time in bed this morning. I did not go through my entire meditation and prayer routine. It was very abbreviated. And in fact, I would describe it as when I was praying, it became more like sulking and complaining. So I wrapped it up and I was like, that's very rare that that happens, but I was not in a good state to continue doing that. And and I intended to do my workout. But let me tell you just before I get into my workout, I was listening to Shalene Johnson this morning because I was like, you know what, I feel like dog doo doo, and so I want to listen to something more positive. So I put on Shalene Johnson, and this time it was not Build Your Tribe. It was the Shalene Show. It's all about developing your confidence, being motivated, feeling good about yourself, all that good stuff. And I'll tell you what, that lady is extraordinary because I sit listening to her and things she says resonate with me. She motivates me to do things differently. One of the things she told me, well, told the audience was, if you want to be motivated, you got to eliminate your distractions. So you would need to have a clean and organized house. And so I kept thinking about that. And then I went in to do meditation and prayer, and I came out and I was still thinking about that. And I looked at the exercises on this chisel cardio, and I'm like, and so I'm gonna give myself a free pass on this one. Okay, you know what? Today I skipped my workout. Oh! Mainly because I was bummed out, and I'll be honest with you. I'm giving myself a break. I'm giving myself a free pass because let me tell you, I have not just deliberately skipped a workout in the entire past year because I was bummed out and I just didn't want to do it. It's like every other time I didn't want to do it, I pressed play and I went and I did it. So I'm not going to dump on myself for that. I'm not going to feel bad about it. In fact, I really feel strongly that tomorrow, which was scheduled to be my rest day, I'm going to instead go ahead and do that chisel cardio and also do some recovery on top of that. So I'm not going to lose it in the schedule as far as doing that workout. And I can do it. I'm looking at what it was. It's just, it's a tough workout, but it was really me emotionally having a hard time. And so I'm just giving myself a free pass. And yeah, today I didn't do it. And you know what? Let me tell you, just emotionally, I've been so down and out today. And I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but like I started feeling it in my frontal lobe up here in my brain. I could just feel that, I was down. And so I got out this afternoon a little bit. I went and put gas in my car. I went to the bank and deposited some checks. And then I went to the grocery store. And I love going to the grocery store because this Natural Grocers over here in Thornton or Northland or whatever it is, I swear, they have the nicest people working there. I love that about that place, you know that? And so, invariably, I'm always going through the grocery line thinking, what a nice person I'm talking to. And there's nobody there that I've talked to that I don't think is a nice person. So, I just like going there. And they get familiar with who I am because that's where I go get my groceries. I go like 2 or 3 times a week, and that's good for me. I don't go and do one big shopping. It's nearby, and it gets me out of the house more, and I get so like remedy number 1 today was getting out of my house and seeing those people and getting that feeling of, hey, I'm actually around nice people, and there's no expectation of me to them to me, except that it's just a nice interaction, and that little thing did cheer me up. It did lift me up a little bit. So, the next thing I did, I watched a little bit too much TV today, and I have it on my mind. There are a handful of things I really want to do professionally, and that's really what I want to punch myself in the face over. It's like, you ding dong. There are these things that I can do, and I can do them so well, and I know that I can succeed at them, but I'm just like, I have this reluctance, and it's like, do it! Because I just know I can do it, and if I did it, it would make me feel so great, and it would be so good for me on so many levels. But, okay, so I watched too much TV today, and let me tell you, I did watch something nice on TV. It was taking my attention away from the fact that I was bummed out. Today I swore off all the political negative crap that really bums me out. The way these politicians treat one another, it's not a good example they're setting for humanity. You're talking about the most important jobs in the world's going to people who behave like petulant children. You know what their drug is? Speaking of drug addiction, it's power. These guys are so drooling and salivating for the power they want in that job. And, you know, it brings out the worst in people. And I can't see the dignity in it. But, and I'm not going to get into specifics, just to say that it really sort of makes me very very disenchanted. So, but let me just tell you. Was watching this TV show on Netflix. I'm on season 3. It's this TV show called Rita. It has heart and soul, and it's from it's either Swedish or Sweden or Norway or something like that. One of those northern European countries or something. In any case, it's not in English. You have to read subtitles, and I just like the characters and the storyline. And so, my point is not to just say how cool this show is. It's a cool show. I mean, like, you may or may not like it. It's just my discerning taste. I do like it. Um, my point is that I needed it a little today to get me out of my head. And did I mention actually before I cleaned up my whole house after hearing Shalene Johnson say, like, you need to clean up. I decluttered so much. I vacuumed everything. I Swiffered the floor upstairs, which is a dry mop. And so I got all these ghost turds off the floor, which are like dusty collections here and there. And I cleaned all that up. My house is very clean and orderly for my daughter's arrival tomorrow, which is all very nice. And I think Shalene is right. You know, and also when I clean my house, when I take charge of something like that and I do that, being orderly with some things makes me feel in control. So it's not an obsessive thing either. It just they're when I feel like I'm in control of the little things, they all kind of add up and make me feel like, oh, okay, this is okay. So I decluttered all kinds of stuff. I mean, I moved the couch and I vacuumed under the couch and I vacuumed the rugs and I cleaned the wooden floors and all this stuff. And I took all the garbage outside because tomorrow's garbage day. I vacuumed all the floors. I cleaned up and down the stairs. And like, why am I telling you this? Because it just made me feel like, ugh. I cleaned my bathroom too. I cleaned the toilet. I cleaned off my sink area. You know, it looks presentable now. Like if I had a company or a female companion that came in here, I'd be like, yeah, oh, you can go in my bathroom. I'm not embarrassed at the moment. I would clean it anyway if I knew I was going to have company. But let me get back to the TV. It really the good storytelling, the heartfelt storytelling, humor, all do something positive for me when I'm down. It lifts me up a little bit. And so I did that. And so that's why I sometimes recommend TV. But of course, then you can go overboard with that and it can be too much. And then you're like, then there's a fine line between enjoying yourself and just like escaping the whole time. And so it relates to drug use in some way, does it not? But the last and final thing I did that was good for myself tonight was, oh, let me state this also, okay? Um, I'm like all over the place. Tangent. Uh, what the hell was I gonna say? Oh, yesterday sitting on the couch, I felt so bummed out because of what I was listening to on TV. And today, when I was sitting there for a while and feeling bummed out, I really had it on my mind. I wasn't like tempted to go and get marijuana, but I had it on my mind to get high. And I thought, geez Louise, it would be really something if it were right here in front of me. I would feel excessively tempted, which would not be a good thing for me at this time to do that because I want to learn, life is going to challenge me on given days. There are going to be hard times and I don't so you see that indicates my problem with it that I'm thinking about getting high when I'm down like that just to like whack that hard drive, reformat it and then like be like buh in a totally different state of mind emotionally, mentally. I was like, oh yeah, I'd get high and then I would go put on a record on my record player and just be like, oh, wow, very relaxing. And yeah, I said record player. I have vinyls and it's a whole thing. I like to play vinyls and if I were to get high, I just want to go put on a, a vinyl record. I feel like I'm hearing something extra special, beautiful. So, not advocating, just saying, just speaking the truth. The last and final thing I did for myself today, which was probably the best thing of all that I did, was I went down and sat in another Marijuana Anonymous meeting, and I didn't speak tonight, and I felt like if I had, I would have told them what I told you about how much I was disenchanted with the politics on TV and the way these high level elites, famous people are treating one another in the most petty, childish ways. And that's what I've already shared with you is what I kind of would have shared in there. Not feeling good about that, just feeling ashamed that people behave that way. And these are people that were supposed to have faith in to, navigate our world through the complicated times we live in. But my point is to jump to listening to everybody tonight and how they're feeling and various people with their different stories, nothing which I'm going to divulge right now because that's the whole point. It actually helped me to just quiet myself and hear how other people are feeling and stuff like that. So the interaction, the company, I swear to you, the number one thing I'm really talking about here tonight, the whole summation of what's most important of what I'm saying, it's something I've touched on a little bit before, is that for me to feel good in life, for me to feel fulfilled, even though it makes me uncomfortable, I have to get out there and be around people in all kinds of different contexts. Productively, professionally, personally, with fitness, all of the above. I just feel like I'm isolating too much. And so I can't go hang out with people in the political arena. That's not what I'm talking about. In fact, I don't even want to necessarily discuss politics because I'm the type to get riled. I'm saying I just want to find people with whom I have stuff in common with, people I can share great experiences with, fellowship in those activities, philosophical thoughts others might appreciate, just hanging out, doing stuff together, you know what I mean? And life is not ripe with those opportunities. Like when I was younger and in school, it's just so easy when you're going to class and you're getting familiar with people that way, or when you have a repetitive activity where you see the same people over and over again, it's really a good thing, in my opinion, because you start getting familiar, you start getting comfortable, you make friends. And I'm not talking about seeing anyone too much. I'm talking about just the right, healthy amount of social activity. However much that is, it is certainly more than I'm engaging in at this stage in my life. So my point is, the number one thing I need to do for myself personally is to be out around people, engaging with people, trying to help people, helping myself, helping others. And you know what? That is help. Just being a friend to somebody, just spending good time with people, that helps all of us. And I don't want it to be based in negativity. So, sometimes you get around people and it's all about trash talking other people. Those are certainly not the kinds of friendships I want. I want them to be based in positive, inspirational stuff. People who because of who they are, they just motivate me to want to be a better person. I've had those kinds of friends before. I've had those kinds of relationships before. That is the priceless stuff of life, and I need to reach out more to people. At the end of the last show, I told you there was someone I was going to call, and I didn't, and I should have, because it might have helped set my mind on a different course from the crappy last couple days I've had. And there's still a whole subset of something that was bothering me I haven't told you about. I'm just keeping it personal, and I'm not going to share it with you. It's more appropriate to go into a therapist or go to someone in my family and discuss it with them. And so I'm not going to share that with you. But the number one message I wanted to just share tonight with you, for me personally, being a loner, being an introvert, the number one thing I still have to work on is meeting people, building relationships, and getting out there and being social, finding the right balance of social life. And it's so easy in Italy for me. Do you know that? Just contrasting, I'm somebody who's been to Italy a lot, and the social life is so abundantly available there. If I want to be a social guy, you know what I do? I walk out the door, I walk about 150 yards down the street, and I'm in a bar where I know a bunch of people, and I'm welcome, and they invite me to go out with them on the evenings, and I actually have friends over there who know and the whole social life here, it's more of a struggle. You have to make more of an effort, pick up the phone and schedule, yes, we're on a big city, and I have to go way over there to see you, and so there are a lot more hurdles here socially for me, and you know what? Coming to you and doing this recording tonight, telling you how I'm feeling, in a dignified way. It's been therapeutic for me because honestly, people, I had such a hard time earlier today for a little window there, and I just had to work through it. I had to wait and work through it, and I'm glad I saw some people today, and I'm glad I'm doing this, and I hope it helps somebody out there eventually. I'm early on in the stage and process of this show and this show's development, and so consequently, not a lot of people are listening yet. I know some people I know some people are, and I've gotten some good feedback. And to be honest with you, I have been bashful about putting this out in certain venues. I don't go to Facebook after I do a show like I should and say, "Hey everybody, here's a new show right here. Listen to it." And so I should probably do that. I should probably get over it and do that. I'm feeling more comfortable in my skin doing this. But at the same time, I have a history of with media and putting it out there and reaching a lot of people at certain points. And you reach a lot of people, and there's always invariably that negative person, that negative ding dong coming out of the woodwork and being like, ugh. And so it's like, I don't know that my personality type deals well with that kind of response. And the best thing I can do is kind of the advice I give others, like, don't even listen to it. The second you see something's negative, if it's just some negative person, block it out, filter it out, and keep the medium positive. So that's advice for you too. If you're on Facebook and if you feel like it affects your mood negatively because of people who are getting in arguments or things you're following, putting up. I remember I stopped following some Fox News local channel somewhere because they would put up like, child was kidnapped and beheaded, and I'm like, oh my God, that kind of thing hits me like a ton of bricks, and so I have managed to filter out a lot of negative. There's even a little negative additionally that I should be filtering out, but that's my advice. If you find negative stuff in your social media but really you want to have positivity feeding into you all the time, filter that shit out. Just take my word for it. I mean, unless you enjoy it. Some personality types I think might thrive on it and enjoy it. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you specifically, if you feel like emotionally you react negatively to that kind of thing, then by all means, be gone with it. Let it go. Cast it out. Banish it. Oh, there we go. Doggone it. All right. What a nice ending, huh? My light just... I have a problem with that light. I have to replace the dimmer on it. All right. So... Don't you do that again, light! I'm Paul from FitSpaz. If you want to find out more about me or watch past episodes of this show, you can go to FitSpaz.com. And this is specifically what I call FitSpaz Recovery because it's a combination of blending fitness and empowering things to get over your addictions, to be healthier in life, to be more fit, to be sober, all of the above, in my opinion, all very important. I want to get involved with people, so if you think there's something you want to do, hit me up. Send me a message to paul@fitspaz.com. Follow me on social media. Subscribe to this show in iTunes. You can just listen to it on your phone in the iTunes podcast app, or you can watch the movies on YouTube. I'm posting these on YouTube. They look great, in my opinion. It's one of the better looking things I've done visually with video, and I love how I pump the sound into the video. All that stuff thrills me, and that's why I call myself Paul the Producer. But anyway, everybody, I'm going to be out of here for now. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for listening if you listened. Thank you for being a sounding board where I can express myself, make myself feel better. In so doing, I hope you identify with something that maybe improves your quality of life or something you can take and integrate into your life to feel better. All right, everybody, take care, and I will catch you next time.